Hi everyone, first of all thank you for being here. My name is Barnabè and I will present in this poster also on behalf of my co-authors Martin Kunk and Maria Cleofe Giorgino. As you can see from the title, the poster is about qualitative system dynamics and in detail our study focuses on the use of resource maps as specific visuals to be used for accounting education. The poster is organized and structured in 5 main sections. They are numbered from 1 to 5. If you have the chance to take a look at the poster, here is how it looks like and how it is uploaded on the conference website. I will start with the background to the research and we will finish with the discussion, and I will use the slides to provide some information details about each section of it. So I will start with the background to the research. The debate to which we are going to contribute is related to the use of visuals in the accounting field. Visuals such as maps, graphs, images have been increasingly used over the last few years by organizations all over the world, both for internal and external purposes. In the field of accounting, there has been a debate calling for more research on the use of visuals and their impacts, also in order to facilitate and favor knowledge sharing and acquisition in teams of accounting learners. At the same time, in the field of system dynamics, we have been witnessing a renewed interest for the use of maps and diagrams, and this is why we are giving a lot of emphasis to qualitative system dynamics. Starting from here, the study that we are carrying out aims to test and discuss if a specific visual named resource map has the potentials to favor and facilitate discussion, understanding, and knowledge sharing in reference to reporting practices and within teams of accounting learners. I reminded that a resource map is a tool theorized and used within the stream of research named Dynamic Resource-Based View. The DRBV approach is a combination of the traditional resource-based view of the firm theorized by Edith Penrose and the system dynamics methodology. So far, we have been applying the experimental design, and we are reporting data about 2 experiments. These experiments were organized and run in the form of workshops, adopting resource maps as a visual tool applied to the teaching of integrated reporting practices. We focused on 2 case studies. We focused on the Italian oil company Eni and the Japanese airline company JAL. The participants to these 2 workshops were professionals on one side and postdoc students on the other side, but all of them with a major in accounting, so they share some common background. As authors, we acted as trainers and facilitators throughout the whole workshop. Just a few words about integrated reporting. Integrated reporting is one of the latest novelty in the field of corporate reporting. When we talk about an integrated report, we talk about one single document able to combine both the traditional financial report on one side and the sustainability report on the other side. So we get an holistic picture of how a company creates value over time. If you take a look at the picture portrayed in this slide, this is the main value creation process underpinning integrated reporting. The idea is that, starting from the left-hand side of this slide, an organization has at its disposal a set of various kinds of capitals or resources or stocks, which are financial, manufacturing, intellectual, human, social relationship, and natural ones. Those resources are the inputs to the value creation process. They are transformed through the business activities, the operations, into outputs and outcomes that eventually are going to again impact on the same kinds of resources. A feedback is portrayed in this picture, thereby implying that the value creation process is an ongoing dynamic process that happens over the short, medium, and long term. So in the end, an integrated report aims to support integrated thinking, decision-making, and actions focused on sustainable value creation for the company and its main stakeholders. This is nice in theory, but when we get to practice and we are really asked to read integrated reports, we quite often end up with very long reports where a lot of images, information, and data are spread all over the place. Tables, data, graphs, images, and lengthy explanations about the governance of the company, its operations, and so on and so forth. So the idea for us is to challenge the participants to our workshops to inspect these reports, but then come up with a single map able to summarize all of these information and data, and that is exactly the resource map. Usually we organize the workshops around 5 main steps represented here. We give a basic introduction about the DRBV method. We let the participants focus and analyze for a while integrated reporting documents, and then we explain how resource mapping works in practice. After that, we go into the practical part of the workshop, and we ask the participants to analyze usually 1 or 2 reports. As I mentioned, we used the 2015 integrated report by ENI and the 2019 report by JAL, and draw the resource map. At the end of this 4th step, we collect the results, we analyze the results, and we run the debriefing and get some feedback from the participants. What we usually get from the workshops are resource maps like the one portrayed in the top left corner of this slide. As you can see, a resource map is a sort of stock and flow diagram, even though a resource map doesn't aim to portray the whole business domain under analysis. Rather, a resource map is focused on the bundle of the resources which are really strategically relevant for that specific company. Of course, we have causal links, we have polarities, and we have the capabilities which underpins the process of value creation in the specific business domain. After that, we clean a little bit the resource maps. We go, basically we do that using one of our software. We used Benzim here, and we draw the resource map in a more polished way. So we have the key levers, the inflows and the outflows, the key connections, and we favor discussion at this point during the workshop. We usually receive good feedback from the workshops. For instance, I will read the first excerpt here. One of the participants stated that he found interesting the fact that the participants were pushed to analyze the data with the ultimate shared goal of reorganizing them in a graphical form. They had to agree about what to portray and include in the map. Stated differently, the participants are challenged and pushed to reorganize data and information into a different knowledge which has to be put on the paper using the language of a resource map, which is basically qualitative system dynamics for us. At the end of the workshop, you are usually able also to discuss which feedback loops were formed, to label them, and to discuss their typology. If we basically got positive or negative feedback loops and how they would act in this specific environment. So coming to the discussion, the conclusion, the aim of this study and what we got so far is to test if resource maps are useful and have the potentials to assist accounting learners increasing communication knowledge sharing among them. Specifically, resource maps are used as boundary objects since they favor discussion and they are able to get the participants on the same page, letting them agree on what is to be included in the map or is to be excluded from that. Stated differently, this means that we are organizing existing knowledge, creating new knowledge using the language of a resource map. In the end, we believe that this study allows to embrace the challenge of integration and complexity, and hopefully we could contribute to the debate about qualitative system dynamics, not only focusing on the accounting field, but also to other fields of research. Of course, we would be more than happy to receive comments, questions, and feedback from all of you. Thanks a lot for your attention.